Okay, moving to these slides, do organizations have uniform cultures? Yes, some of them have uniform culture. Majority of the organization have uniform culture. Uniform culture is mean like they have the culture that bind them together, bind employees together, accepted by the majority of the employees in that organization. So most organizations have a dominant culture. They also have the subculture and numerous sets of subculture. But the most important for any organization to have the dominant culture, even though not all, even though they don't have like a one strong dominant culture, but at least need to have a dominant culture, and there are some other subcultures, because we have to expect that employees come from different backgrounds, from different races, from different religions, from different gender, so they may have differences in terms of their culture. So there's some subcultures we can expect from any organizations. Employees will have different kind of cultures that they brought to the organization, but the most important, they organization have dominant culture. That means they accept some of the culture that be introduced by the organizations. So the dominant culture express the core values a majority of the members, that means the majority of the employees share, and they give the organization distinct personality. That means that the core values that the majority of the employees shared among themselves, that give the company or the organization that they work to have a distinct personality compared to the other company. For example, whether if we work for the company like for USM is a public university in Malaysia, and we have many public university in Malaysia, but how make USM distinct in terms of their personality, in terms of our perceptions or public perception compared to the other university. For example, USM was known for the apex, and for their, for example, sceneries, beautiful garden, and so on. And the people, they have that kind of motto, or the kind of tags, for example, we leads, for example. So this kind of culture, the dominant things that shared accept by the majority of the members, that means majority of the employees, that make their company distinct in terms of personality, in terms of their organization different from other organization. So the core values here is the primary or the dominant values that accepted by the employees throughout the organizations. That means the majority of the employees accept the core values or the core belief or whatever that they accept, the majority of them accept as throughout their organizations. And there are also subcultures in any organizations apart from the dominant culture. Of course, we want to have organization that have a dominant culture, but we cannot but as long as the organizations have a dominant culture, even though they have the numerous subculture, is still okay. But the problem will arise if this subculture become there are many dominant culture in one organizations. If there are just one dominant culture in the whole organization and there are subculture, that's fine. But if there are too many dominant cultures in one organization, that will be a problem, because people will tend to be disunited. Tend to be disunited if there are too many dominant cultures in one organization. So subcultures is a mini cultures within the organization. So if there are numerous sets of subcultures, they are still okay, because they have some dominance, or they have one dominant culture, or the culture that are dominant, that mean accepted by the majority of the employees. So subcultures, that mean mini cultures within the organization, tend to develop in large organization, because in large organization they have many employees. So there we can expect there will be some subcultures within large organization to reflect common problems, situation, and experience that members face. Because when there are many employees in the organization, especially in large organization, they will have many employees. So these many employees will expect something from the organizations. For example, they may have different subcultures. These subculture, according to textbook, reflect common problems, reflect different kind of situation experience they may face. So because the organization have a dominant culture and that subculture is still okay, but if the organization have many dominant cultures, that would be a problem. So when we move to strong versus weak cultures, so strong cultures are core values that are intensely held and widely shared by the employees. So the more members accept the core values and the greater their commitment toward these core values, the stronger the culture of the organization will be, and the greater its influence on the members' behavior will be. So we in any organizations organizations or managers or CEO will expect employees to be to be cohesive among themselves. When they are cohesive, when they are assumes that they are as a big family, they will put more efforts. They will more united in terms of their belief, in terms of their belonging or sense of belonging to the organization. This actually can contribute to the effectiveness of the organization because they become strongly identified with the organization. So here, the more members accept the core values, that means the dominant culture, the greater their commitment will be. So they will put more effort, they will more loyal to the organization, and the stronger the culture will be because now they are more cohesive. They have high connection with the rest of the employees, that means the rest of the members in the organizations. So the greatest is the influence on a members behavior. So this considered goods. That's why it is important to have a strong organizational culture that's in line with the organizational goals. If the organizational culture is not in line with organizational goal, there will be a problem. So any organizations want the organizational culture be in line with the organizational goals. So strong culture is very important to make sure that the organizational culture, members become strongly cohesive. Become more committed with the organization, maybe become more identified with the culture. So a strong culture should more directly affect organizational outcome because it demonstrates high agreements about what organizational represent. So strong organizational culture is indications of a positive commitment, high agreements among all the majority of the members in terms of what the organization represent. That means what the organization's goal, what the organization want to achieve. Strong organizational culture or strong culture means majority of the employees follow the same culture that's follow the organizational culture. So when everyone follow or the majority of the employees follow this organizational culture, that means the cohesiveness or the unions, they come together in the one things, they become more cohesive. So it's indicate here unanimity, that means they become as a one pack, as a full in agreements. So when all agrees, all bind together, so this actually will lead to cohesiveness. When it leads to cohesiveness, it leads also to loyalty in terms of meaning toward the organization and organizational commitment. So it's important for the organization to achieve the goal if employees become cohesive with the culture and also become loyal to the organizations and become committed to the organization, because when they are committed, they will tend to become loyal and put more effort to the organization, and when they put more effort, that means their performance also will increase and the bottom line could be of the organization could be achieved. The function of culture, there are many functions of the culture stated in the textbook. One is boundary defining role, that means to create distinctions between one organization with the other organization. The most important part for the organization is to have a competitive advantage where their company is different, have a more advantage compared to the other company. They want to be distinctive, they want to be unique, they want to have that kind of competitive advantage. If they have competitive advantage, you will have the niche, and the niche, that means they will have what other employee or other organization want to have but they didn't have. So boundary defining role, that means they have something that other organization didn't have. So another functions of the culture is to convey a sense of identity for members. So a sense of identity could actually is actually very important. Employees become identified with the organizations. They are proudly like to be part of the organizations. That's a sense of identity for members. And another function of culture is to facilitate the generation of commitments, because or the point of having culture is to make sure that employees become more cohesive, become more loyal to the organization. They abide, they identify the values with the belief and so on of the organizations. So the function of culture is to facilitate the generations of commitment. So they are more focusing towards larger commitments, that means of organization commitment instead of their self-interest, their personal self-interest. And another function is enhance the stability of the social system. Enhance stability of the social system is social system can, according to textbook, is can tie people together, because culture is where employees abide, or employees agree or willing to be identified with the organization. So increase stability of the social system in the organization, where employees tied together, among people in the organization tied together. That means they come up, they have this kind of close relationship with other employees. They interact, so their relationship kind of is not just based on work, but also it is important to have unity and also cohesiveness in the organization, because it will create a good social system. I mean, we go to work, we also want to have good social system among other employees. So the culture also could enhance stability of the social system, and can serve as a sense making and control mechanism. What is meant here, because organizations come up with the procedures, with the rules and regulations, so this actually can be as a way to control individual or employees attitudes and behavior, to comply with the organization's rule and procedures, so that they'll be able to perform, contribute to the organizations. That's the importance of the culture, or the function of the culture. Next questions. What do cultures do? Cultures create climates. So another terms that closely related to organizational culture is organizational climates. So organizational climates is a shared perception about the organizations and the work environments. So when we talk about climate, we talk about work environments. That means the environments, the shared perceptions regarding the organizations and the work environments. So a team spirit at the organization level. When we have team organizational climate, we tend to have a team spirit. That means everyone come and then share the same perceptions regarding the organizations, and then what they need to do in order to achieve the goal of the organizations. So the team spirit at the organizational level, if employees have the same general feelings about what's important and how well things are working, the effect of this attitude will be more than if the individual doing their parts. So what is meant here is working as a team is more important than working as individual parts, or as one just individual separately. There are positive outcome of workplace climate. It has been linked to higher customer satisfactions and also financial performance. So the effect of organizational climate is actually could lead to higher customer satisfactions and financial performance.